Down in Richmond, Virginia, in the year 1849, a young black man called Henry Brown, he had one thing on his mind: to free himself from slavery and escape to the promised land. A one-way ticket for the underground and never to return again. Henry Box Brown, traveling underground. Henry Box Brown. Henry had a wife and 3 children. The 4th was soon to come. They all were owned by a Mr. Lee, except for Henry, all but one. $50 each year he paid for not selling them away. But Mr. Lee, he broke the promise and sold them into North Carolina State. Henry Box Brown, traveling underground. Henry Box Brown. Henry cried for several months, but then he picked himself up again. Go get a box and put yourself in it, words that suddenly came to him. And so he hired himself a carpenter to build him a wooden box which would carry him into the freedom land, whatever it would cost. Henry Box Brown, traveling underground. Henry Box Brown. 2 friends, both by the name of Smith, he approached to take part in his plan. James Caesar Anthony, a fellow church member, a merchant and a free black man. And Samuel Alexander, a shoemaker, a white man and a gambler too. We're gonna help you out, Henry, they said. Your freedom will come soon. Henry Box Brown, traveling underground. Henry Box Brown. They gathered into Samuel's shop early morning, March 29. Henry placed himself inside the box, knowing freedom would soon arrive. Preparing for Philadelphia was done. It would take him 1 day and 1 night. Fare thee well, said Samuel and James. Good luck and keep yourself alive. Henry Box Brown, traveling underground. Henry Box Brown. Samuel Smith, he sent a message by wire as soon as the box left town. Dry goods were shipped this morning, it said, due to arrive within 24 hours. The Anti-Slavery Society PA were thrilled to read this news. By this time, except for his very own life, Henry Brown had nothing to lose. Henry Box Brown, traveling underground. Henry Box Brown. The first leg of the journey north took the box down to the river shore. From Aquia Creek, a steamboat trip to the Washington City Wharf. From DC on to Baltimore, a 37-mile train ride, crossing the Susquehanna River and the Pennsylvania State Line. Henry Box Brown, traveling underground now. Henry Box Brown. The road was hard and the river was long. The box seemed like a bouncing ball. This side up with care it marked, but no one seemed to bother at all. He traveled by wagon, he traveled by barge, he traveled by boat and by train. Henry must have felt like Jonah did when Jonah was inside the whale. Henry Box Brown, traveling underground. Henry Box Brown. Poor old Henry, he had a real bad time. Sometimes he traveled upside down. Many hours in a terrible pain, but Henry couldn't make no sound. His hope had almost deserted him by the time he could hardly breathe. Death seemed to be the only way out to free him from this misery. Henry Box Brown, traveling underground. Henry Box Brown. "27 hours after he had left, his journey ended with delay. The Anti-Slavery Society hoped their waiting would not be in vain. They opened the box and held their breath. Would this cargo still be alive? But as a free man now, Henry rose up to celebrate the good outcome of this never-to-be-repeated, once-in-a-lifetime ride. Henry Box Brown, traveling underground. Let's all hooray for Henry Box Brown. He made his way to freedom now. Let's all hooray for Henry Box Brown, magician of the underground. Let's all hooray for Henry Box Brown. He made his way to freedom now. Let's all hooray for Henry Box Brown, magician of the underground.